Welcome to
The fourth action. That was totally not synchronized.
No,
That's okay. Neither are we.
If this one sounds different, it's because we're doing it different this time. We are recording remotely for this particular fourth action.
And video.
And video. If you're lucky, you might be able to see it. And then you will do things like, oh my gosh, Emily looks like that. I mean, the beard is going to throw a lot of people. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, this group has an average amount of hair. It's just not evenly distributed.
I think it's a bell curve.
Emily's got the long hair. I got the beard. And, let's face it, I'm about 2 steps from a mullet.
So what are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. You know what? That is a perfect example right there. How recently, or maybe it's Plame, has been the one that has kept the party moving.
Yeah.
The unofficial party leader.
No.
I think
Inara's the leader.
Well, I think that Inara likes to think she's the leader, but really, I think Plame is the leader.
I think everyone in the party except for Boddy thinks they're the leader.
That might be true.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I can support the Inara thinks comment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rude.
I'm pretty sure that
Not her strong suit.
Fawin probably would like to think she's not a part of this party. So therefore, she is the only leader.
She is unaffiliated.
Party of one.
Fawin is just like, as from episode 1, I don't know, these people just started following me. Which, not to go all the way back to that, but that was a great moment of role play, Emily, whenever you totally threw me. It was fantastic. You're like, are you okay? Do you need help?
Yeah.
I do.
Are these guys following you?
Yeah.
I do think that Inara and Fawin have like a really cool, I don't know, dynamic that will get interesting.
For sure.
I can't remember when it happened, but like the shoulder checking and kind of a little bit of passive aggressiveness going on.
Yeah.
The warg situation.
Not so passive.
Yeah.
It starts
just with aggressiveness.
It starts with the warg, and then when you're carving in the table, and then Inara's like, "Hey, would you like to come over here and help?" Oh, and then Inara or Fawin. Gosh, we did it live right there. Anyway,
You did it live.
Fawin does biting words, and then a few lines later, she says something really snarky to Inara,
Right.
and Inara's not going to let her forget it. I don't think.
I mean, we'll see. There's a lot of mystery.
To circle back around, how do you think that keeping us moving is that you being a good table member and part of your personality of hey guys, let's keep going, or is that Plame who's like, I really want to find stuff,
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, obviously, as playing Plame, when we're doing the exploration stuff, he's, the one that's going to be there, going to listen to the door, going to check for the traps and go check. And so I'm always thinking of, well, where's the next door I need to check? What haven't I got? But then I've also got to rein it back to make sure everybody together as a party, the conversation stays natural and organic, but I think it's a little bit of both.
Really doing what a rogue should be doing,
Yep.
You don't see many people play a rogue and actually like check for traps and do all the boring stuff,
Well, if you don't, you wind up, speared to the ceiling.
Right.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Honestly, Plame is kind of like the glue of the party.
Yeah.
He's his vision of us being heroes and the idea of, of us doing heroic things. He's got the spirit of the party like more than anybody else. He sees
I don't know if he
everybody
has quite the spirit of being a hero exactly down pat yet.
Yeah, he's trying. He sees
which comes up.
Fawin as a hero. Yeah, he thinks
Fawin is a hero.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. I mean, really, that critical claw, that owl claw talon thing. Can you tell us, Stacy? It's really an owlbear claw, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Woo!
Not a bugbear.
So a guy named Owlbear.
Some owlbear.
He's French.
Yeah,
he's French Canadian. Owlbear the vault.
That's him.
I'm going to jinx everything by saying it, but really Fawin deserves that because, I mean, even with her sling, she's been pretty impressive.
Actually, she has, but still.
That telekinetic, was it telekinetic
Who
projectile?
knew? Who knew that was going to be such a fun spell?
Oh yeah, I love that spell.
It has been an action. It's saved some butts a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I found out, by the way, in one of our episodes, we wondered, can you like telekinetically projectile? I think it was lightning in a bottle or bottle lightning, right?
Right.
Oh yeah.
And the answer is you can, but it just does the regular telekinetic projectile damage. So
Doesn't do its like
I know.
naughtiness.
I really wanted to argue against that, but then in the example I was reading on the internet, they said that it would be like throwing a grenade without pulling the pin.
Yeah.
Sure.
So most of those things like a bottle or a tanglefoot bag or whatever, most of those things have some type of activation thing. You got to strike a match or pop the cork or shake it real hard or something like that. So
yeah.
Darn the balanced game
But
fighting. Oh,
Yeah.
there's nothing stopping you from throwing a bottle of oil at somebody and then
Right.
telekinetically tossing a flaming board over there to it.
That's right.
Yeah. A good friend of mine, Tom, he was he's a veteran RPG player as well. He
Awesome.
did some crazy things with an unseen servant and mage hand with just commonplace items, just dangling, like doing traps and like setting up these like hilarious like domino effect situations, and it's all just really just mage hand manipulating normal things, and it was like, dude, what else can you come up with?
So he's part kobold with all the traps. Tucker's
Yes, like the
kobold, right?
kobold thing. Yes,
Yeah,
very much so.
that's pretty cool.
That's
I
pretty
think
cool.
that'll be handy for some people as we move forward.
Handy,
Handy.
mage handy.
That's
Speaking
another
of
thing.
mage handy.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned that was one of your favorite like if
Cantrips?
spells were in real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mage
cantrip
handy.
spells. I mean, I think mage hand really opens up a lot of very practical magic. That and prestidigitation. You'll hear Boddy use those a lot.
Prestidigitation is the top one. Yeah, 'cause
So
you can
Yes.
clean things.
You
warm
can give
things.
Inara
Dishes again, man.
shoes.
yeah, I'll make fake shoes for a little bit.
Oh my
Make
gosh.
some-
You can make things taste like other things. So you could like enchant the water that Inara drinks and make her think it's, something a little stronger.
Oh, good idea.
Oh,
I think she would figure it out eventually. I don't think
This
that
isn't
would
doing
See,
the
work.
that's
trick.
one of those spells has excellent real life applications, right? Like that
What if
kale
you could
salad,
mix-
and you're like, it's like Doritos, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
What?
or
You guys don't put Doritos in your salad?
By the way, Dorito salad, Dorito taco salad, that's a real deal. And
That's
it's
a thing. Yeah.
it's
that
delicious.
sounds like
Dang.
Oklahoma fair food for sure.
It
Do you
does.
deep fry it too?
Oh,
Yes.
now you're cooking. That no pun intended. Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah. Love it.
I loved the moment in game when Boddy uses prestidigitation to clean the wounds. And I was just like,
Oh, yeah.
freaking brilliant, right? Of course you
Yep.
would.
Ah.
It's really sweet, really smart.
It's fun. I love those flavor, pun intended, flavor spells that give practical applications. Like, what would you do with this magic if you had to use it every day? If you could use it every day, how would you make your life easier and things like that? It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Really handy to clean off dog pee.
Very, very true.
And the blood and guts you've inflicted on yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
The gore, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. All that viscera and spatter that happens in a
Oh
battle.
man, Plame should have remembered that when he was cleaning off after that imp battle.
Yep.
He could have had Boddy do it instead of having to go off and find a old abandoned robe.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I love the croc boots moment. Like, that was just great. Whenever Inara's shoes get burnt, and then you make her croc boots. So
Well, the
Hideous
fact that her
things.
feet catch
Which-
fire, and she's just like, "Hey, cool! Now I can stomp stuff."
It's interesting that it requires sustaining the spell.
Mhm.
Kind of a bummer.
It
Yeah.
makes sense though. I
Well, it's a
mean,
cantrip, so
yeah.
Yeah, and you have to stay within
Yeah,
10
yeah.
feet of it, or else it disappears too. So
Oh, okay, very
Oh,
good.
well, we didn't have
I
that
haven't
either,
been
so-
thinking about that either.
no,
yeah.
just for
So
fun.
both, so in that episode, both as she walked over to like watch, take guard while you went to go cast detect magic, plus the detect magic, either one of those, the distance or the thing
Yeah.
could have
Right.
Well, I
could have
think you can
crumbled them.
still detect magic and sustain the crocs as
Oh.
long as you don't exceed your 3 actions per round.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
Because it's 2 actions for the detect magic, 1 action for
Ah,
yeah. I
because
don't know if you can sustain more than 1 at a time though.
I don't know. I
wouldn't
bet.
think so.
Yeah, you'd have to check. I bet that's probably in the rules somewhere, but
I'm sure Tim will comment on that for us.
I know. Tim
I would
has
think
been
you could only
great.
concentrate on one thing at a time, but that's why it's the
Yeah,
That's
before
not
you could,
true.
right?
I
In
have
5e.
concentrated on absolutely nothing on many occasions.
yeah.
Hard not to concentrate on nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
So speaking of thinking of nothing, Stacy.
Hey.
So talk about your process when maybe someone throws you for a loop and does something you're absolutely not expecting.
Oh,
Tell us that process of how you would deal with that.
I just pick the first random thought that bounces into my brain. No. Did you have a particular instance in mind?
Well, when was it episode 16, 17 when we meet a certain knight,
Tall, handsome stranger.
tall,
Oh.
handsome stranger, and Inara afterwards is like, "Hey, how's it going? Good job, buddy."
I was expecting you guys to be like on guard or either aggressive or like want to ask some questions. She's just like, "Hi."
I mean, he seems cool.
Like,
I
what
don't
do I do
know.
with this? What do I do with this?
She knows how it works in the adventuring world. Anytime you meet someone and join in battle with them, they're obviously meant to join the party. So
Right.
That's right.
Mm.
On patreon.com/RedDirt.
Join the party.
you don't even have to cross swords with us.
No, but you can if you want. Bring the swords.
Emily, what made Inara do
Yeah.
that? What made her be? I mean,
Probably her 7 wisdom and just not really caring.
wait. She has an 8 intelligence and a 7 wisdom.
Oh no, sorry, 7 intelligence.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, 7 intelligence. and
What
7
is
wisdom.
her wit? I think her
Probably-
wisdom is 10.
Probably, yeah,
Oh,
probably
okay.
plus 0.
Yeah.
All right.
We have
I would
a
hope so.
So
have a
she has a
super
little bit
7
more
intelligence.
wisdom,
intelligence.
a little bit more wisdom than the goblin.
But as we talked about
Which-
last time, I think we're not a very wise party.
Nope.
No.
No.
Does
Well, we're
anyone
all-
have
we're all
above a
young.
10?
No,
No?
I don't think
No.
any of us have above a 10.
No.
We're just
I personally
average.
don't.
Which means we're probably missing a lot of perception checks. Like,
That's probably very true. Stacy,
Yeah.
I was thinking about, and we can circle back around to Stagram too, but I was thinking about the moment with the spider swarm where Brook is thinking from a meta perspective, we're in trouble. Like we can
Oh yeah.
like nick away at these things with minimal damage of 1 or 2 hit points at a shot, but by the time that happens we're all going to be poisoned. And then Inara grabs her wine skin, although it's more like her vodka skin.
Yes. Very flammable.
Yes.
Yes, I will say Inara reacted much better than Plame.
I can see that image. We need character art of that or little animation. If someone knows how to do little animation, I just see Plame just quote screaming like a girl with spiders
Running
all
in
over
circles, covered in.
Oh no! If you
red
remember, he
spiders.
flopped to the ground and started rolling back and forth like he was on fire.
it was awesome.
It was fantastic. It was
How much
it was
bludgeoning
a-
damage is a rolling goblin deals? Question.
Yeah.
And just to point this out, so I had no idea what the mechanics are behind Swarm.
Oh,
I didn't know you could just take a step backwards and be out of it. I assumed I was just covered in spiders.
yeah.
It really doesn't make any sense that you can just
No, it doesn't.
do
That's how the
that.
mechanic works.
Well,
Yeah,
the swarm wants to stay as a swarm, I guess,
right.
and so you can move out of it.
There you go. Maybe that kind of that envision of as you're backing away, you're like brushing them off and be like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it makes more sense for like flying stuff. Like
Oh, there are
flying
flying
insects.
swarms too.
Yeah.
Oh
but
yeah.
They're gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Just
give them
don't-
the DM ideas. Yeah, you're right.
Just shut your player mouth.
Swarms are no joke. They're scary.
I'm telling you,
I don't know
level
why they
1
rate them so
combat.
low. You
What's
guys had
that?
a hell of a time with them.
No doubt. Everything in this, like as Boddy
You
slash.
had a harder time with the spider swarm than with the hell monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things we had the easiest time with, other than maybe Inara, was the bugbear.
Yeah.
Which started
Yeah.
when I was re-listening to that.
I was surprised.
When in game, when it happened and that bugbear had Inara by the throat, I thought we're in big trouble. Oh my gosh, like this is bad. But in re-listening to it, we actually did pretty well.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's something you
It
don't
was
know.
just
Once a
sorry.
bugbear grapples, they can attack for a big 2-hit damage bonus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that bugbear was about to rip Inara apart.
That natural 1 or that natural 5 or whatever he
Mhm.
rolled probably saved Inara's life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of dire because she wasn't doing very well. Not
Well-
literally the last several episodes, I don't think she was hitting anything. So
She did hit him once though.
She did hit him once
did.
for
Did
hit him
big
once.
for a big thunk.
No,
right?
she got a
No.
roll to 1 on her
yeah,
Oh,
damage.
that's
it
right,
was,
she
it
never-
was
Right.
not good.
Yeah.
The big
got a
thumb
little-
was
got
one
a
of
little
the-
spot between the armor, you know.
It's the
And
only thing
the hell
about a
monkeys that she
D12.
hit big.
Oh,
What's that again?
Yeah.
I said it was the hell monkey that she hit big,
Hmm
Yeah.
practically cut in half.
I think that was that a critical?
Yeah,
think-
thought so.
Yeah.
Might have
It was a
been.
critical. I think it was
Mhm.
like 32 points of damage or something like that.
It was gruesome.
It was nasty.
Yeah.
Speaking of criticals, something that I was reminded of was that when we roll low, and it's just natural to do, we've been like, that's a miss. We need to say the number because
Mhm.
it might be a critical miss if it's
Mhm.
below
Ooh,
10.
Yeah.
So instead of just like, oh no, that's a 5. If that armor class is a 15 or higher, we just had a critical miss.
Yes.
I don't think there's any punishment for a critical miss on a normal attack though.
No,
But
There is on Stacy's
but on
game,
spells-
apparently.
well, if you roll a natural 1, right? Natural 1 is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
critical.
It depends
critical
if someone's in the
fumble
way. It depends if
Yeah,
someone's in the way.
Cool.
I mean, we're just not used to playing that way, I think. I think
Oh yeah.
Right.
they're,
Yeah.
Part
a
of
1
the
is a critical miss, but anything else is.
Yep. It's just in most cases it's probably not going to be bad, but it might be definitely it would be like on a save or
Mhm.
a check of some type. You could definitely have
Yeah.
a critical failure or whatever. So
it's gonna happen to one of us.
Well, I think that's on the DM then to say, well, what did you roll?
Oh, blame the DM. do ya?
That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
it's our favorite thing to do. So
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I still blame him for that terrible accent from the tavern keeper.
Terrible accident.
Accent.
Oh,
Accent.
Accent. Not accident. Well,
Oh.
it might have been an accident.
it
but-
might have been accident.
Hmm.
Now,
it was a horrible accent.
behind the scenes, we have given Stacy grief for the tavern owner's accent. But I will say,
What?
others have been really good. Like I love Warble. I really love her. Just like, wait a minute. Like I can't even do it. But that, what do you call it? Feathery You don't call it ghostly. That something. But
that kind of that
Ethereal?
airy-
Airy.
Yeah, she's got the airy.
airy.
kind of
That's
voice.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little raspy. Airy.
She's sweet.
Mhm.
for sure.
I think you're doing a great job.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Thank you.
I really liked
Yeah.
Stagram's accent
Mhm.
for some
Ooh,
reason.
Stagram, yes.
It just seemed to fit, right? It
Mhm.
wasn't,
Right.
it
It's-
definitely was European, but wasn't like Eastern
It's
European.
Parisian. You know, you got to use your entire mouth when you speak.
And it just
You're not a half-hearted people.
it automatically made him like I could see like that ancient nobility kind of thing in his voice,
Yes.
So yeah. Do you there could be pressure on DMs to do
There
accent.
can be. God, yeah.
Yeah, I'm regretting my choice to try to do a British style accent for
See,
Boddy.
Oh,
I
love
It sounds
Boddy.
better in my
the
head.
Cockney. Oh,
Yeah, it's
Boddy's
I'm awful.
fun.
It's
I
not
keep on
that
fading
bad.
between like British and Australian, and maybe some
Not that
Irish in
bad.
there somewhere.
He's a
I will
hobgoblin.
say that is why I chose not to do an accent for Inara, is because I knew
Yeah.
with how
Yeah.
much we would be playing that it would definitely
Yeah.
be difficult after a while.
It's well, accents are fun, but it's hard to maintain them.
Mhm.
Like Jeremy was saying, Boddy. He's normally got the Cockney accent. Sometimes it wanders
Right.
around. He starts off
He
as like
doesn't
Jason
know.
Statham, and then sometimes he winds up as
Yes.
Pinfield.
Yes. Yes. I'm shooting for a little bit of Jason Statham, a little bit of like the villains from Cruella de Vil, somewhere in there.
Right.
I missed the mark a little bit.
Uh-huh.
There have been a couple of times, I'm gonna pick on Emily. There have been a couple of times, and it's always the very first thing that Inara says, and it's only been like in 2 episodes, where suddenly she's a Southern girl and she just like
Yeah,
and
I
you
think
pull out
that's
of it
just
real
a
quick.
little bit of me that comes
Mhm.
out because I actually do kind of have a slight accent sometimes.
Little Emily
I
People
think
in
that's
Oklahoma have accents. What?
I'll say this
On-
though, we're talking about accents and it changing over time, right?
Right.
So I think that actually is real life. My wife used to tease me quite a bit that, see, I grew up in rural northwest or northeast Oklahoma, and as I get closer to home, I start affecting back that accent from there.
So the
Which-
closer you get to
Cold
Arkansas, the more
Uh,
you sound like
yeah.
Arkansas.
And maybe so. The more, no, I won't go there. Yes. So, because that's my parents there. We wash the truck and we things like
Yes.
that, and
Mhm.
it's natural. But then you go to, like, for my part, I went to college and around other people, and you start to kind of take in that and mimic it a little bit. So the fact that an accent may stray over the course of a campaign, I think that's just a normal thing.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem is when it strays over the course of a conversation.
There you go.
So when that happens, we're immediately going to roll for some type of insight. We're going to roll perception on is this person
what's
deceiving
going
us or
on?
not.
No, we're wisdom. That way we never have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That works out
Oh,
really
now I'm
well.
gonna have to work that in. Thanks a lot, bro. Yeah. Why did you pick
Go.
the accent you picked? Body?
Yeah.
What's that again?
Yeah. Why did you pick? Why'd you pick that accent?
I searched far and wide trying to find what hobgoblins actually sound like in Galarian, and I couldn't find anything. You find all kinds of goblin stuff, and they have a little bit of like a kind of an old English, like deep underneath their crazy, like just normal goblin accent. So I thought, well, probably some kind of more evolved version of that, but not very not super like high level, like civilized, because they're still
You don't
goblinoids.
need to do a nice posh accent. No.
Oh,
Yes, nothing
and
like
sure.
Fawin's.
I'm sure Fawin's the
Yeah.
ancestors.
So I thought seriously,
Ancestors,
like a Jason Statham mixed with some a little bit of the 101 Dalmatians, the two villains that are
Yeah.
like
Those guys
the
are awesome.
toadies for Cruella de Vil. I'm like, yeah, those guys.
Yes.
So that's why I tried right, very quick speaking.
Yeah. How did you know Plame's voice before? I mean, like I honestly will practice when I'm bringing in a new character with like, what does he sound like? Is it like this? Is it like that? Had you done any of that, or was it just like, boom, here he is?
Oh, no. I thought about it a little bit beforehand, and I even kind of messed around with it. But for the most part, it was pretty straightforward for me. So
Yeah.
if you go look at a picture of a Pathfinder goblin, and they're kind of got this football-ish shaped head, and it's just all mouth and all teeth. So
They're freaking scary looking.
Yeah. And so my thoughts were,
Beady
well,
blue
if
eyes.
you had that much teeth and you're having to talk around all of them, what would it sound like? And that's kind of how I came up with Plame's voice.
I will try to share screen. So
I shared one just now.
oh yay.
Yep, perfect.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're talking.
So, big ears, big teeth, big mouth.
Yeah.
So it's
I
a
love
little
it.
hard.
Big
You have
mouth.
to kind of talk
That's-
around it.
I love it.
They're just
I
the
don't
best.
imagine him being that scary looking. I don't know why. I just
Just
I
because he's such a
imagine
friendly goblin.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see him that way, but
Are you thinking that Plame is more refined? Is that your thing?
no, it's just he doesn't like, I don't know, he's not quite that crazy. So I just don't imagine him to be quite that crazy.
Gotcha.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he
Now
just
you
picked
know
up
why
the phobia.
Fawin
But
is.
if Fawin just keeps pushing,
Now you know why Fawin is nervous, right? Where she's like, there's this goblin, and I'm pretty sure he's just gonna munch on me, in the middle of the night. So
As far as goblins go, Plame is actually really civilized, to be honest.
that's what I
Well,
said. He's been
he grew up in
surprisingly civilized.
he grew up in civilization.
Hal, you've been dropping some great hints. They're
Yeah.
really subtle. There's something back there in Plame's backstory. You had kind of the emotional memory moment with the stew and warble.
Well, I mean, I will say, Plame was born right at the end of the Goblet Blood Wars.
Yeah.
So right in that transitionary period. But within about a year and a half, 2 years later, he was at a circus. And that's where he spent the rest of his life. So I think we've already talked about that pretty much, that,
Yeah.
he grew up mostly in the circus. He was born to a goblin tribe, obviously, and there for a little bit. And if the listeners don't know, goblins mature very, very quickly, right?
Yeah.
So I think by the time Plame was 2, he was able to be off on his own and scout and do things. So it's not like a toddler running around at the circus. He was
They're like mature at 6 or 7 years old, right?
something like that.
That was more
Yeah.
like 10 or 12. But yeah.
Okay.
They're full grown at 10, and I think their average lifespan is like 20.
Okay.
But most of that's because
They tend to set
so much of
themselves on fire.
the tendency
Let's be
to
honest.
off themselves one
They
on another.
They jump off of rafters with bat wings.
Yeah.
That should have worked. I think the DM robbed me on that one.
They can live longer.
Yes, they can live to be 40 or so, right? So Plame's middle age.
Yeah. There's also, and you don't have, I'm just like setting the stage a little bit here. You don't have to share anything, but there's also something, you're dropping some clues about either Boddy or hobgoblins, because like Plame didn't want any healing, from Boddy with the knife, like to come and do risky surgery,
I mean, we saw what happened to Boddy when he did it to himself.
I
think anybody would be nervous. And also point out,
lunatic stabbed himself in the neck.
Plame didn't have any problems with Boddy helping him out with the poison. With the spider poison.
That's true. It didn't involve a knife, though, right? So which again might just
also
he
not
doesn't like it when people run at him with knives.
it might just be common sense. So
yeah.
But Plame was interested in like the healing techniques or the process maybe. So
surprisingly enough, and it's probably never going to come up because of his -1 wisdom, but Plame is trained in healing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's probably a better healer than Boddy, honestly.
But it might come in handy at higher levels.
Yeah.
If we ever go up a level.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
I was 100%. I was 100% on the PC train of, oh my gosh, when are we going to level up? Until Inara said it's been 1 day, and then I was like, oh yeah, okay.
You have to think about it like as the character. You don't just wake up and level up. So
sometimes you wake up and apparently you start punching trees.
Which is like also
just going after it like a tree ant kicked your dog or something.
I gotta get a morning workout.
There's something else there, we know. And then there's something else too, which Emily / Inara just dodged so smoothly when we're at the training dummies. And
Oh,
Inara
yeah.
says something about like, oh yeah, back in the day, and Fawin kind of probes a little bit. She's kind of prying a little bit about like, oh, like what, when did you encounter these? And
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't know if you remember, Emily, but you used a throwback line from, again, I think like episode 1 of like of oh, that was far away from here.
Oh, yeah.
And Fawin was like,
Just
okay, I get it.
throwing little breadcrumbs out, you know.
Yeah.
Soon the mystery will unveil.
You bet. My meta sense is tingling, and I don't know if it's good or bad about this Stagram guy, because Inara just greets him right away. And then Fawin, again, the character doing stuff that Brook necessarily didn't want her to do. Fawin just gives him the book he's looking for, or at least one of them. And that's either really good or really bad, boys and girls. Like, I don't know what. I don't know if we made an ally or we just handed the keys to the kingdom to the big bad in episode 1. I don't know what we've done, but
I am honestly surprised that Fawin did that. She doesn't seem like that would be something that she would do.
Yeah, there was something about, here's a guy looking for his family history that just went into, just went right underneath any of her armor or, her emotional armor or protectiveness. And she was just like, oh yeah, this belongs to you. I mean, this is, she's been wanting to find stuff and hunt for things and grab knowledge on stuff all the way through this castle so far. And then here's a guy that she knows in her backpack, she's got something that literally like belongs to his family. It's got is it his dad's name in it? His uncle's name?
His father's name.
Yeah, his father's name in it. So, like I said, I don't know. If Fawin ends up being an enemy to you guys later because she joined the dark side, that would be the moment.
Well, the Hell Knights are from Chiliax, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
So far, it seems like it was a good idea because he's helping us. So
yeah,
and they're pretty well renowned, like absolute units in battle. So
he's not officially a Hell Knight. Didn't he tell us that?
No, but I mean, he's of them.
Yeah, he's of them.
He's an armiger.
He's in training. He's a trainee.
The real test will be kind of right as we're recording this, the last thing that we know in storyline, with the courtyard that we found and the giant lizards. Like, does he go in with us, or does he like shut the gate behind us and lock the door?
That's one test.
Like a hero.
Boddy is wondering what he's gonna do when we meet the goblins. Like, is he gonna treat them like, just normal beings, or is he gonna treat them like pests? Are we gonna have some friction at that point? Does he see them as an infestation? Does he see them as, harmless beings? Does he? I don't know.
Yeah.
Boddy's keeping an eye on that. He's watching this human.
Yeah.
So, just to kind of went that, because when we met him, and the first thing Staggering was like, either get to looting or get to helping, kind of a thing. And we're all like, oh no, we're not looting, even though just by chance we have explored, I think, every single room on the first floor before we ever found what we were looking for. That was not planned. That was just
went to every single room.
Which is why we should be level 2.
Which we just recently found out that all we had to do was turn right. And we would have been here.
I secretly rolled perception checks for you people. To hear all the commotion. You guys like,
it's that wisdom.
Right on by the gate.
Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious. And that's like, when we first met Stagger, we're like, Plame goes up to the door and he's like, he listens. Nope, don't hear nothing. Open the door and it's a huge battle and flying hell monkeys yelling and shrieking and Stagger's in there. Oh!
Not really doing anything.
If ears that big, you think he could hear better.
Oh, that's funny. If one of us dies, we need to come back as like some kind of character with a 20 wisdom. Big ears with actual very large ears.
Plame was like, wait, do you mean that wasn't just in my head?
Yeah. He's too busy
That's what's always
singing.
going on in there. Is that
Yeah,
how?
that's always going on there. Yeah.
There's one
That's what he
spider
always
that was
hears.
still in there, like scurrying around, making noise. You know?
No spiders.
I will tell you, Hal and Emily, that story you guys tell about not oh gosh, not Falls Creek, but
Turner Falls.
Turner Falls.
Turner
Yeah.
Falls. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that spider story is
It's-
awesome.
Yeah. Never going in caves again.
Scary.
But that is what I imagine it looked like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just a lot.
Just imagine a goblin
Yeah.
running around screaming in the middle of it.
Mhm.
He's just rolling
just
on the floor.
curtains,
Rolling.
curtains, and
But
curtains.
luckily, he had friends to set him on fire.
It's
It's
the only option.
Jeremy's suggestion for Boddy. He's like, close the door. It's the wrong way.
My meta has always been like we keep finding all these health potions and we have had to keep using them, so we don't really have a stockpile. And now we're at this courtyard with like a giant lizard and something else, maybe two. I'm not sure the one underneath the rubble's dead. He might just be resting. I'm not sure. But
Nah,
I'm
he's
hoping
just
it-
stoned.
He's sleeping.
Well, this is what happens when we have a medic instead of a healer, a cleric.
Someone's taking a shot at your
True.
hobgoblin there.
Heck, we would have been out of spells by now anyway. We
This is
soak
also
up the
true.
damage.
Yeah.
This is also true. Stacey,
Yeah,
I'm
it
assuming
works
as
for me.
DM, this is the room you've been waiting for, the room we're about to go into.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, I've been doing the what do they call it? The not keystone.
Milestone.
Milestone. Well, kind of a
Milestone,
Keystone
yes.
Cops thing. Milestone. I've been doing the milestone leveling. Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
more like
you accomplish
gravestone
X,
levels.
You go up a level.
So
And-
once again, go ahead.
You finally got to X. Well, there's basically when you capture the halfling, you level up, or when or meet the halfling, whether you capture him, kill him, whatever happens.
Yep.
We haven't yet determined that.
So you're saying we could have leveled up in episode 3?
Yeah, you guys could have just gone, take a left and a right, and bam.
Yeah.
Something that Fawin loves to say, so it's all Plame's fault because he
Yeah.
was the one out in the woods. It had a chance.
We're actually going for a level one a full complete speed run
That's right.
of this dungeon.
Yeah.
Set the world record. No
I've never
healer.
counted myself as a completist, but it does feel pretty good to know that we got the entire map.
You
in
bet.
front of us.
Of course, we missed about half the treasure there, I'm sure.
I can't see the treasure. It's too bright in this gold-filled. This room is something gleaming at
All
me.
this glittery stuff. Get that out of the way.
Close the door already.
We did
Guys
find
have
that
actually done a
gold
pretty good job
in the
hoovering up
dummies.
everything.
So
Yeah.
Which when this airs, with the people in the future will already know whether we went back to get all the coins. I'm assuming all the coins. I'm assuming that every single one of those dummies has coins in them, but
Pretty close, yeah.
could be wrong. Maybe not, but Fallen's
liked-
not forgotten.
I can't believe y'all didn't like Plame's idea. The easy
Burning
way to
them
get all
all?
the coins out, just set them on fire.
There might be
The goblin
there might
list
be
of
important
solutions.
documents hidden in there, or there might be
That's the one.
I like Plame can read.
Good
This is
warble
a
in
throwback to the classroom moment when we found the banners and things, and Stacy says, and there's like a list of maybe recruits, and I was like, I can't read.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, in there with the banner was a bunch of like paperwork.
Good stuff. Well, anything else, folks?
Thanks to all the listeners for making this fun for us, and
Yeah.
keep on giving us
100%.
feedback. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining the party. We're having a blast. If you can't tell,
Absolutely.
Do that like, share, subscribe thing. Like, leave a review. Those are huge. They bump us up in the algorithm. So, leaving some stars or leaving a review, especially on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, those two especially, their algorithms, if the people leave a review, it bumps you up. So do that.
Nice.
Grab your grandma's phone and fill one out for her, and there's all kinds of stuff. So
Comment on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube.
Oh, that reminds me. We were going to
Yes.
have a question, a comment
Oh,
about how you pronounce something.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know. Do you say dro or
Oh.
drow? What is everyone's vote here?
Yeah.
Always
Drow.
said drow.
I
Yeah.
have always
Drow.
also said
I've
drow.
always said it too.
Drow.
Yeah.
Ow. Drow. Ow. Ow. Drow.
There we go.
But
Like
crow,
meow.
crow, dro. So
Mhm.
That's right.
I think
I get it.
I think it could go both ways.
There you go.
I think let the people decide.
That's right. I wonder if it's a regional divide. I wonder
Mhm.
if certain parts of the country say it differently.
That's good. That's a good question.
Let us know.
I mean, you can look it up online, and there's a pronunciation out there.
As I said in the episode, I don't want to look it up because I'm afraid I'll be wrong, and then I'll just be stubborn enough to not change because I like the way I say it.
There's no,
All right,
no
well.
drow on Galarian.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, we could do that. Maybe it's the correct way in Galarian and the way other people say it in on Earth or other places. So
yeah, like how in Orth or Greyhawk or whatever, it's elf, and then on Galarian it's those snotty elves.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think it's time to roll for initiative.
it is.
Yes.
See y'all next time. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.